Welcome to my study, dear. You need help? A quarrel with the Interastral Peace Corporation. Financial? You're wasting my time. I have more stimulating matters to attend to. Oh, I don't understand. Do elaborate. Make it quick. You and your incessant desire to preserve and save everything you come across like a hero. But I suppose your drive to solve a problem for the preservation of Aurum Alley is noble. And I always support the use of intellect for noble purposes. Good, good. Well, that's all the praise you're going to get out of me, for now. You better be ready to keep up with my tempo, then. I wouldn't want to leave poor you trembling in a ball of confusion. Financial modeling is not my area of expertise, but I suppose it's built on an easy foundation of inferential statistics. But maybe it's too far beyond your reach for now. How about we start with something simple for your simple mind? Let's begin to lift that gelatin dessert of a brain you have out of this pool of ignorance. Hopefully I don't break it into pieces on the way up. Away we go. Oh, I was going to start our course on linear regression. Well, start our introduction, I'm afraid. I don't have much time to give you the full details. But, keep at it. Alright, you already know about a bit of linear regression? Okay, how delightfully optimistic of you. But let's see if we can expand that bit into a more substantial morsel. Multilinear regression is something you're going to need to use in your financial analysis, especially in the predictive space. It's like linear regression's more sophisticated sibling, one that deals with multiple independent variables, predicting the outcome. It's a dance of data, numbers swirling in a delicate balance to predict a variable of interest, quite out of your depth for now, I'm afraid. Keep up. You will be doing well not to trip over your own 2 feet. But let's proceed. You see, in multilinear regression, we don't naively hang our hat on one lonely predictor. No, we invite a multitude to the party, each contributing their own little piece to the puzzle. It's a symphony, and every instrument must be tuned to perfection, something I highly doubt you could comprehend beyond a rudimentary level. How does it work? Heavens, the simplicity of your questions could be endearing if I didn't find it so. What's the word? Yes, stupid. We take these variables, control for their individual effects, and assess their collective impact on the dependent variable. That being the output, maybe in your case the value of a shop on Aurum Alley? This involves matrices, linear algebra, partial derivatives, that sort of thing, that I'm quite certain would send your head spinning faster than a top. Oh, I'm having so much fun seeing those brief flashes of hurt on your face. Don't worry, we'll get you smarter at the end of it. But I know you love being challenged, insulted. That's why you haven't stormed out of the door. No need to feel shame about it. The pursuit of intellect is always trying. So, you understand the concept of controlling variables, do you? A monkey can understand how to peel a banana, but that doesn't make it a chef. Controlling variables in a multilinear regression requires finesse, an understanding of the data, the model, the underlying assumptions that, quite frankly, might be beyond your grasp. Very well, if you insist on the attempt. Imagine you're trying to predict the price of a house. You can't just look at the size, although I'm sure you'd stop there in your current state. No, we must also consider the location, the number of rooms, the age of the property, and more. Each of these factors is an independent variable that potentially influences the final price. With me so far, or is this math too taxing for you? Oh, it makes sense. Okay. We then use a method called least squares to find the line, or in this case, the hyperplane, that best fits our data. This fitting process minimizes the sum of the squares of the differences between the observed and predicted values. But perhaps I should pause for your inevitable headache to subside. Right, because once we have our model, we can make predictions. But remember, the accuracy of these predictions depends on the data quality and how well of the assumptions of the regressions are met. For instance, you could run into collinearity, endogeneity, overfitting, underfitting, and a lot more that will garner so much more mocking than just from me. The IPC will turn you upside down and inside out if they caught errors in your market analysis. Consideration is the least of what's required, but it's a start, I suppose. Now, should you ever find yourself in the depths of an actual multilinear regression, don't drown in the data. Call for help, preferably from someone whose intellect doesn't mirror that of the common garden snail, like me. Oh, of course this isn't the actual course. Don't worry. In subsequent appointments, I'll be teaching you a lot more detail. But you've gotten me interested in this little project of yours, and working with you, of course. I'll be sure to provide you with the right stimulation to get you thinking about the right things. Of course, not too much for your dumb, ignorant little bunny mind. But I'll make every effort to keep you on the edge of being overwhelmed. Good. I'm pleased that you're keeping up. Oh, you've actually caught me at an inconvenient part of my schedule. I have to attend my 6 p.m. bath. They are very important to keeping a fresh mind, you know. Or maybe you don't. I wonder how often you bathe yourself. How about it? If you want to so desperately save Aurum Alley as it is, and so desperately need my instruction, you'd do best to accompany me to my bath, wouldn't you? The locker room's down the hall. Meet me there in 10 minutes sharp. Ta-ta. Oh, so you found your way to my bath. I know I told you 10 minutes, but I usually don't take so long to prepare myself. To be brutally honest, I got here as fast as I could just to be the one so extravagantly welcoming you. Don't worry, no one else is going to be here to witness how difficult it is for you to learn something. We'll continue our lesson here. Don't be shy. Try to relax and calm yourself. The water's the perfect temperature. And that towel of yours? You can keep it on for now. It's much easier to think of these problems when all other sensations are isolated. Now, where were we? Yes, the basics. Here is the classic multilinear regression. Y, our dependent variable, is in reality equal to possibly infinite factors. But in the case of something like commercial property value, only a few variables make up the bulk of explanatory power. It probably doesn't make sense to say that the presence of a wandering street cat is as important as the revenue generated by that shop in the past year. So we have a flat estimator, beta 0, that may or may not mean the baseline of the dependent variable. Then each independent variable has its own beta estimator attached as a coefficient to denote how it influences the model. I'm sorry, are you not paying attention? You're looking at me funny, Trailblazer. Are you perhaps distracted from your lesson? Not used to this situation. You haven't been intellectually stimulated in this way. You know, you could learn from Run May a little. She's usually a great bathing partner, knows exactly what to say and when, and our conversations are most stimulating. We usually reach a level of mental interaction so climactic that we both walk away feeling refreshed and pleased. It would be a shame if you couldn't experience the same joy of knowing. Knowing yourself, knowing the situation at hand, and knowing your partner. And of course, I haven't been oblivious to your gaze on my bare chest. And I'm not dumb enough to be equally oblivious to the secondary nature of this conversation. So, perhaps we could put a pause on your teaching for now. After all, I always have time later in the evening to continue your studies. I guess I can be a little irresponsible now that I've taken on my title of mediocrity. Now, shall I wade over to you and make the first advance in this game of chess we play? Or you can shift yourself over to my side, and I can show you what a hungry beast the rigors of academia have produced. I've been all pent up in the cage, imprisoned by my duties. But maybe now I get to let loose with you. Trailblazer, why don't you set me ablaze for a change?